Alright, let's talk a little bit more about domain and range. So domain is what we put into the function, and the range is what we get out. When I was learning this a million years ago, we always talked about the function machine. So you put the domain in, something magical happens in the function machine, and it spits out your range. So this is a old school representation of the idea of functions. No less valid, but old school. So before we begin, let's review the conventions of interval notation. The smallest number from the interval is written first. The largest number on the interval is written second. So you have the smallest number, comma, largest. You use parentheses to signify endpoint value that's not included, called exclusive, or with infinity and negative infinity. And brackets are used to indicate that endpoint value is included, called inclusive. And here's a nice little chart that shows you all the different scenarios that you can have. This is probably really good to keep around while you're doing your homework, or just to have it if you're going to do more math. So find the domain of the following function. We kind of did this before. The domain are the x values. That's why I went ahead and left the printed one. So this is the set that contains 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So given a function in equation form, find the domain. So you're going to identify the input values, identify any restrictions in the input, and exclude those values from the domain, and write the domain in interval form if possible. So really the only times that we're worried about restrictions are if we have a fraction or an even root, like a square root. So here I have this function here, and really I can put anything in there because there's no exclusions. So my domain is all real numbers. That's a symbol for all real numbers. And we can also write it as negative infinity to infinity. So let's find the domain of this guy. He's a cubic. There's no reason he's not a square root or an absolute value, or not absolute value, but a square root or a fraction. So I can also put all real numbers in this one. So if we have a fraction, we're going to do the same thing, except for we're going to have our restrictions, our exclusion values. So here we know that, here you go, 2 minus x can never equal 0 because it can't divide by 0. So I know that x can never equal 2. So anything, I can put anything in this equation except for 2. So my domain is going to be from negative infinity to 2, unioned with 2 to infinity. And you're like, Amy, there's a 2 on both of these, and you said it can't be 2. So because this is a parenthesis, it's saying it can go right up to the very edge of 2, but not including 2. So you can go with like 1.999999 infinity, and that would work, but not 2. Alright, let's find the domain of this one. So 2x minus 1 can never equal 0, 2x can never equal 1, and x can never equal 1/2. So same thing here, we can put negative infinity to 1/2, unioned with 1/2 to positive infinity. So now the other problem we have with domain is even roots. And so I know we can't take the square root of a negative number in a regular graph. Okay, there's a special graph for that, and you're like, oh, Amy, please don't show me that. We're not going to get into it in this class. But in a regular graph, we cannot take the square root of a negative number. So 7 minus x has to be greater than or equal to 0. And so I'm going to add x to both sides. And I have, I'm losing my eraser here. 7, so x is less than or equal to 7. Remember, we can rewrite it this way. And if I were to write that in interval notation, it would be negative infinity to 7, and we would include 7. Alright. So here's another nice little table that shows inequality notation. So here's the line, the number line, the inequality notation, set builder notation, and the interval notation. So you can, this is good to tab or have around, okay? And we already covered unions. So this is kind of being redundant. So if they want you to go from a line, this is included and that's included. So I would go 1, comma 2. Oh no, it's a 3. 1, comma 3, and this is 5 not included, and it goes on forever to infinity. But these are both on the line, so I have to make a union sign there, and that would be the interval of the values. So here's just a graphic here for you visual learners. Domain is the x value and your range are your y values. I'm a visual learner, so that's really important to me. Okay, so this says find, I guess let's talk about what we can observe from here. The domain here goes from -5, and it's included, and it goes all the way, so it's going down, but it's the x value, so I imagine that it'll go slowly but forever in to infinity. And then the range is the y value, and it starts at 5 included, but it goes down forever, so it goes to negative infinity. So that's not the right way to write it. We start with the smallest number, and we would write it that way. Now, if you in Newton Alta put this, they would tell you it was wrong, but if you put that on a test and it was right, just flipped, I would give you the credit. Alright, so let's look at, find the domain and range of this. So the domain are your x values. So it goes from -3, not included, to 1 included. And my range, now I'm looking from here to here, my highest y value is 0, and my lowest is -4, so it goes -4 included to 0 not included. Okay, here's some toolkit function stuff that's important. It gives you the equation, the domain, and the range. So for your identity, here's your domain and range. or constant, identity, absolute value, quadratic, cubic, reciprocal, reciprocal squared, square root, and cubed root. So those are good to know. So let's look at a couple more of these. So using what they've given me, find the domain and range of these functions. So I can put anything in here, and I can get anything out. And we can also write it, both of these, this way. Here, I know that the function can never equal 0, right? And because of that, x plus 1, because there's a constant, right? Because that's the only way that you can have a 0 fraction if 0 is on top. And I know that x plus 1 can never equal 0, so x can never equal -1. So my domain is everything but 0. No, I'm sorry. X is my domain. So my domain is everything but -1. And my range is everything but 0. Alright, and let's look at this one. So I know that x, well, first of all, I know since y equals f of x, right, the whole function has to be greater than or equal to 0, because I can't take the square root of a negative number. And then I know that x plus 4 has to be greater than or equal to 0. So x has to be greater than or equal to -4. So my domain is -4 included to infinity. And my range is 0 included to infinity. And here are links for more practice if you'd like.